Hi John, my name's Sally. First I want to say thank you for 25 years of pure enjoyment. It's just, ever since I was 12, it's been a huge Bon Jovi fan. But what I wanted to ask was, have you been writing any songs while you're on tour here? Have you had time to write any songs, new songs for maybe?
Oh no, you have enough time to sleep and eat and take a shower and come here again. We wrote the new stuff for the greatest hits during the course of the tour, but it's rare that I actually write on the road. You're gathering information, you're just trying to think about changing the sets up, things like that. I don't have the capacity to write anything out here, really, to be honest with you.
Hi, John. I was just wondering if you've been given this opportunity with Frank Sinatra, what's the one question that you would have
That's the guy I would have liked to do. That's the guy. There's a lot. Everything that he did to get a president elected, how at the lowest part of his career when he didn't even have a record deal or a movie contract, that's when he was given that role in Here to Eternity and won the Academy Award. He ended up owning the record company, getting a president elected. He did a lot of things for civil rights, walking in the front door with Sammy Davis when they told him, take the day, go, and you get your, and get out of here. And he said, you don't get me if you don't take Sammy. So those are the kind of things that, Frank was a very loyal guy. Yeah, that's somebody I would like to talk to.
Hi John.
No, not good.
Hi John, I'm Naomi. Firstly, thank you for providing the soundtrack to my life. And there's one particular song that I love, In His Arms, that just gets me falling into a puddle of tears every time I hear it. I just want to know, is there one particular song that makes you do the same thing? Fall into a puddle.
The greatest compliment I like to give a song is when I hear something, I go, I wish I wrote that. And there's a never-ending list from the Beatles to Simon and Garfunkel to the Stones to
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. The only solace I found in that is that Leonard Cohen said it took him 5 years to finish that song. And now I can see why. That's a work of art. That song's a real work of art. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Hi John, you've had a very successful year with #1 live act and everything like that. What would you say is your personal highlight for the year?
Say what? Say to what?
What would your personal highlight of the year be?
Oh.
Besides playing for Oprah.
Well, yeah, that's the usual and obvious. I thought you meant with regard to the tour. The highlight of my life with the kids, obviously. To be able to do what you want to do and do it at this level, you're very lucky to have any job that you actually like going to. So I feel pretty blessed.
Hey John, I'm Melanie. I'm from Sydney, and I just, many of us from Australia have travelled everywhere, all over the globe. And I know that you've travelled everywhere too. Is there somewhere that, I apologise, was it a Bon Jovi concert last night? Anyway, you've played everywhere. Is there somewhere that you really want to play that you haven't played yet?
Well, your voice is
It's really
Thanks.
Makes me hurt when I hear that. I wanted to go to Israel this year, and I wanted to go to Greece to perform. I hope we're going to make it to Israel. I'm not sure. I do believe we are, in fact, on sale in Greece, so we must be going. But if, just the way Paul is, if whenever we wanted to go, we just go.
Yes.
We'd go anywhere. We'd play everywhere. Did it. Twice. but only if I sound better than you.
Hi John, my name's Jodie. Hello. Yeah. Hi. My name's Jodie and I'm a joke-holic. I met you when I was 17 in Perth in the entertainment centre, highlight of my life. I just want to know, in the I'll Sleep When I'm Dead video, and you're singing, you whacked David on the head. Was that, did you know you'd done that, or why was it left in the video?
Well, if I got to whack David on the head, I'd love it to be immortal. In fact, I should go dig it up just to see it happen again. God bless him. He's, you know, we're so proud of him winning those 14 years. But he does suffer all the brunt of all the Jews. Poor guy.
Hi, John. I'm really nervous. I want to know what's your next project with the Sleep Foundation, because I love work. Yeah. And if everyone can go and help out.
I trust that everybody here is probably as good with a hammer as I am, so I really don't need you to go there. No, I'm not, and I wouldn't expect you. The communal build aspect of it is nice every once in a while, more for a press shot than for practicality. I'm also not big on having chicken dinners where they're fundraisers because we need to get money. If I really want money, I either put it in myself or I do something like this, or I go to Coca-Cola or something and say, you want your picture taken? This is what I need. I gotta go do this. Yeah, but I feel good. Well, then find something in your community that does this. Or when we get the Soul Kitchen up and running and I can hand it to you and say, go do it where you live. Or if we're in New Jersey, you know, you can come there and volunteer. People can come there and volunteer. We're doing a couple of builds next year. We've got our eye on one major thing in Philadelphia and one in Washington, D.C. with returning veterans. Because that homeless issue is really on the rise. And then getting a model right on the Soul Kitchen is really important. And that's something that people can come and give of their time.
Hi John, I'd just like to say thank you for the music, the memories. It's been unbelievable, and I'd like to know how you maintain your voice performing night after night. Is there something particular that you do so that you don't sound like we do after 3 nights
No, haven't touched a drop of it. I swear to you, if there was an exorcist in there with a chicken and said I can make you better than squeezing this bloody chicken over you, I'd say bring him on. I'll try just about anything to make sure that I stay vocally fit. So I do a lot. You warm up, you warm down, you work out, you drink a ton of water, you get enough sleep. You do all these kinds of things because there's nothing worse than not being able to perform. Nothing. And I learned it many years ago, and I learned the trick, and now I get to be, the Pope that they all come and see. They go, how do you do that? Let me show you tricks, So it's a science, I mean, it doesn't befit the cliche rock and roll, swinging on a bottle of Jack Daniels, but I got a job, and then I'm the first one in the bar getting a bottle of wine. Between now and then, there ain't nothing else.
Hi John, my name is Polly. I just want to say thank you for everything since I was 11 years old, rocking at my first Bon Jovi concert in Melbourne. Basically, apart from us gorgeous fans and the foundation that you have going, what inspires you to keep going and get up in the mornings to go?
The order of things that matter to me are writing a song and then recording it to see if it's as good as you hope it is. And then finally to go out and play it for other people to see if it works. This is my least favorite aspect of this. It's physically, mentally draining. You miss so many things that are never coming back. You miss years of your life living out of a suitcase. Like I said before, I don't go out. Where am I going to go? So I love the 3 hours up there on the stage, but I'm not one of these applause junkies like some of these people I know that live for that. I just come out here because I want to see how the songs work. So we're healthy, and if we're healthy now, I'll keep going.
Hi, Jon Bon Jovi. I was wondering if you got a free pass from paparazzi and fans and your family was at school and work and you're by yourself, what would you do? How would you spend the day? And will you sing Hallelujah tonight?
What would I do here on a day off? I don't know. I would do what I do every day. Really, there wouldn't be much else I'd want to do. I'm not going to go sightseeing. Shopping is shopping anywhere in the world. Movies are movies anywhere in the world. Dinner is dinner. Wine is wine.
That's right.
Too old and beat up to play team sport anymore. So, you're out, you go for a run, but again, you're on the road. Where you go for a run, that's about as much sport as you can. I American football. My goal, dreams, and desires is that I'm going to own an NFL football team. That was an AFL team, and that was wonderful. It was great.
To the right, John.
Hi John, how are you?
I'm good.
I just wanted to ask you about your bucket list. You've helped me do a lot of things on my bucket list. I sang with you on Labour last night. I won the Liquid Prayer contest. That was Nancy. I just wanted to know if there's anything, you being you, the rock star, selling the millions of albums, is there anything that you haven't been able to do, being who you are, that you wanted to do that's on your bucket list?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I can't even tell you one off the top of my head. It's I want to own a football team. I also just never been one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda kind of guys. If I wanted to do it, I jumped out of the plane. Just go do it. You might fail, but screw it. I'm not really a guy that has lists of things that he didn't do. If you want to do it, do it.
We have our last question of the evening.
Hi John, I'm Sarah from beautiful Melbourne. If the whole world was listening to us right now and you had one thing to say, what would you say?
Thank you and good night. All right, I'm going to go put a set list together.
You've got one. Santa Fe, please. Hallelujah. Living in sin. Living in sin. Living in sin.
Wasabi.
Please, John, Santa Fe. Living in sin. The rarest of rarities. Living in sin. Miracle.
Sit down. Sit down.
So, no, it's not that. Let me think of it for a minute. We have Last Man Standing. We'll do Older. I'll do. But
Radio, please.
really? Yeah.
Living in sin. Yeah.
So, all right, let me ask you. Here's a ballot question. You can only pick one, so here's the choices, and then don't all shout because I can't hear. The slot is Living in Sin, Always, the new ballad, whatever that's called.
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Okay, so no,
Living in sin. Living in sin. Living in sin.
Not roses, not always your own sin.
And what about If we put Fever in as the jukebox song.
Which one?
Fever.
We're allowed to hear Fever.
Doesn't fit in that song.
Yeah, it does.
Mix it up.
Happy Now is going to be the one. Never say goodbye.
I got for you. Tokyo Road.
All right, so here's what I can do easy. Radio, older,
Yes.
last man, living in Sydney, never say goodbye, die for you, dry county.
Santa Fe.
Does Superman work here? All right, that's about 8 of them. All right, I'm going to put a set list together.